Ted Benford. I'm the Executive Director of Community Rowing. So our approach to safety really focuses on the individual safety that all of our coaching staff and our participants abide by. And so what that means is that for us, everybody's responsible for safety. There are a couple basics that I think are successful means of communication with regard to safety. So one is a boathouse emergency plan that's posted publicly for people to review. The other is making sure that the boathouse is sort of free of a lot of the predictable litter and detritus that can get in a boathouse, riggers on the floor, oars lying around, or other coaching equipment that might be an impediment to people's sort of ability to move around. Safety cards go in every launch, not just the head coach's launch. Litter's picked up everywhere, not just in the spaces where people walk. Riggers and oars and different pieces of equipment are organized in a way that everybody can see that this is where this particular item goes. That tends to be able to reinforce messaging as much as keep the boathouse sort of looking and feeling more stable and comfortable. So our staff obviously follow all of the guidelines around USRowing with regards to boating safety, safe sport, the background checks, as well as just following the general principles of the Positive Coaching Alliance. USRowing has, and different clubs, including ours, have some different very specific club-oriented safety and training protocols. For us, that includes a portion of training that has our coaches attending 3 different classes around mission, safety, and just sort of general programs and function and operations. But then also there's online training that we also have our staff do, about 15 hours of online guided coursework that they must complete in order to be certified to coach here. So for site maps or any map that includes hazards on the river, the thing that we looked at were safe harbors for coaches when they're on the water, whether it's another boat club or another organization that might have a dock, or a safe location on the river where if there's lightning or other concerns around sort of physical safety of athletes, that there's a place for them to go. The other thing that we do with that site map is also give our coaches information about how to be contacted if they call 911. So we're in a city, so the answer for a lot of safety concerns is to dial 911 first and call emergency services. One of the difficulties with rowing is that we're generally on waterways, and emergency services don't always have the best geolocation in terms of where crews and coaches are. So we put those instructions on our site maps as well.
I always check the boat before we go out on the water. So one of the first things that I do is I'm gonna check the bow ball just down at the end to make sure that it's firmly in place. Another thing that I do, and the rowers also do this, but I do it as an extra precaution, is to make sure that the heel ties are fully tied for each seat. And I also will go along and check any hardware to make sure that nothing's loose so that a rigger doesn't fall off.
Here at CRI for swim tests, we make sure that swim tests are submitted before the program that they are participating in, whether it's an adult or a child. The basics that we have on the swim tests are 100-yard swim, and we have a 6-minute tread water. One of the ways that we make sure everyone is safe at the boathouse on the water is when we register for programs, every athlete outlines or parent outlines if someone is allergic to something, if they need to carry an EpiPen, if they carry an inhaler, and we use our best judgment to know where we should store it.
Before launching, it's really important for coxswains to be aware of the weather, changing conditions, and what's happening with the water. So watch for wind, watch for lightning, and watch for chop in the water. You also really need to be aware of hazards, and that could be floating debris, it could be sandbars, and it could be other crews out on the water. And then for safety, we have a lanyard with everything that you might want on it for essentials. So we have wrenches, we have a glow stick, and everybody's favorites, we have washers, wing nuts, some spacers. Everybody needs those during practice. And it's really important also to have a whistle, and you're gonna want this in case of emergency if you're within hailing distance of another boat.
For us especially, The idea of creating a culture of safety is the most important part of making sure that our policies and procedures are followed, as well as just creating a safe environment for everybody who comes here, regardless of their level of experience or their background or their capacity to follow our safety guidelines.